After finally getting the pearl pour technique to work, I thought I'd share what I've learned so far in case it can help you if you've also been struggling or if you're just getting ready to give it a try. Hopefully this video can help bring you a step closer to success. What I'm going to share with you today is just what I've discovered so far and what's helped me. I'm sure there is a lot more that I don't know and that I'm still going to learn as I experiment further with this technique. YouTube artists like Sarah Taylor, Cos Creations, and Meta POURS Fluid Art have all been very inspirational and helpful to me as I've tried to experiment with this technique. I'm sure you're already very familiar with their work, but if not, I'll have links to each of their channels in the description box and would encourage you to check them out. Let's dive into the 5 things that I wish I knew before getting started with this technique. The first is using the exact products helps. And so what do I mean by that? While some techniques work almost regardless of the paint brand and pouring mediums that you're using, in my experience with this technique, the exact brands and products that you're using matter. If you've got a favorite artist that does this technique, I'd suggest using the exact same products that they use. And once you get the technique to work, only then start experimenting with substituting different products in. That way you've got more chance of getting the technique to work, and if you're using the exact products and you're not getting the desired results, at least you know that the problem isn't related to the products that you're using. Taking this a little bit further, there are 2 paint components to this technique. The base pearl color that you put down first, and then the more colorful paints that you layer on top. The products that I used for that base pearl color that work for me are Artist Loft Soft Body White, Deco Art Satin Enamel Pure White, Floetrol, Liquitex Pouring Medium, this is a gloss, and Golden GAC 800, and water. I mix them in the ratios that you see listed here, and I mix them in the order that you see listed here too. So starting with the Artist Loft Soft Body White and ending with the water. For the colorful paints that you layer on top, the products that work for me are Artist Loft and Liquitex Basics paints, although it does seem like for this particular item, there might be some flexibility for which brands of paint colors you use here. Floetrol, Liquitex Pouring Medium, and water. I mix these products in the ratios that you see listed here, and again, I mix the products together in the order that you see listed here, so starting again with that paint color and ending with the water. Something else that helps ensure a good outcome is painting the edges of the canvas first before pouring on the base pearl color. One obvious benefit of this is that it helps provide good coverage of the edges, which you may not otherwise have because of the really thin paint consistency that you're working with. However, I'm not sure if it's just a coincidence or not, but I've also noticed that I just seem to get better pearls when I remember to paint the edges of the canvas, and I'm not really sure why that is, but ultimately I would suggest painting the edges of your canvas before getting started, just because it seems to give a better result that way. Like most other fluid art techniques, the paint consistency also matters. You need to get the pearl paint to a consistency where when the paint drips into the cup, it pretty much disappears immediately, meaning you shouldn't see a mound form and then disappear. Both the base pearl color as well as the colors that you layer on top should have the same consistency. In my experience, even when I used the exact products and the right paint consistency, some of my paintings actually still didn't work out. And what I discovered by experimenting a bit more was that the amount of paint you apply to the canvas also matters. What I found was that if you don't use enough paint, it will dry too quickly and then the pearls won't really form. You can see that in this painting where it seems like the pearls are forming, but the painting dried before the pearls were actually able to fully form and reach a nice size. So the next time, using literally exactly the same paint, not paint that I mixed the same way, literally the same paint, I managed to get this result. And what I changed was I added more white paint to the canvas. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how much paint to use in relation to the canvas size and how much paint to pour on top of the white. But the important point here is that the paint quantity is another variable that I've had to experiment with to get this technique to work. Once you've added the colorful paint on top of the white, stretching that colorful paint a lot over the edges of the canvas is then what really helps get those pearls to start appearing. If you don't tilt a lot of paint off the edges, you just don't tend to seem to get the same result. While some of the pearls show up immediately, as the painting dries, more tend to form and they all seem to grow in size too. As a reminder, the 5 key things I wish I had known before giving this technique a try are: using the exact products helps, painting the edges helps, the paint consistency matters, the amount of paint matters, and stretching the paint a lot helps. I've personally found this to be quite a challenging technique. It could just be me, but hopefully something I've shared today can bring you a step closer to getting your pearl pours to work too. If you'd like to see a video of me actually mixing the paint for this technique, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any extra tips and tricks to share, please share those in the comments too. In future videos, I plan to show you exactly how I created some of the other pearl pours that you saw during this video, so I hope to see you again then. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.